And staying in Africa, the continent is facing extreme and devastating impacts of climate change. While East Africa is battling to contain deadly flash floods, the Sahel region is struggling with sweltering heat. The West African nation of Mali is witnessing temperatures as high as 48 degrees Celsius, and its people are struggling to keep cool during this punishing heat wave. As temperatures soar, ice has become a hot commodity in Mali. In fact, it's now more expensive than even bread and milk. Our next report explores how the nation is grappling with soaring temperatures.
The continent of Africa is reeling under dire effects of human-induced climate change. While East Africa is struggling to contain deadly flash floods, the Sahel region has been gripped by a lethal heat wave. In Mali, there's no respite from the scorching heat which has descended on the region. Earlier this month, Mali registered the hottest day in its history. This was after temperatures soared to 48.5 degrees Celsius in the southwestern city of Kayes. And in the capital of Bamako, a government hospital recorded 102 heat-related deaths in just the first 4 days of April.
Today, the provisional weather forecast predicts 41 degrees during the day, so this interval will last for a week. Let's be careful not to go out in the heat, and we must protect ourselves against the heat.
But as temperatures continue to soar, ice has become the hot commodity in Mali. Here's how. Mali has been suffering from an electricity crisis that began last year. Now, prolonged power cuts during a heat wave have further aggravated the problems.
When you look at the temperature, we are at 32 or 35 degrees. By 2 p.m., it will be 40 degrees. It's unbearable. It's so hot right now. And there's no electricity either. This morning, the power went out.
With no refrigerators and other appliances, people in Mali are turning to thick ice bricks to preserve their food and to keep themselves cool. But with some areas receiving less than 6 hours of electricity, ice sellers themselves are at the risk of losing their businesses.
The biggest difficulty for us is the lack of electricity, but we've been able to get by with solar panels and a generator.
The crisis has in turn pushed the price of ice higher. The cost of ice has spiked to 10 times its normal price. So much so that it is now more expensive than daily essentials like bread and milk. In some places, a small bag of ice can cost almost $1, whereas a standard loaf of bread costs 40 cents. And it's not just Mali. Neighbouring countries like Senegal, Guinea, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, Niger and Chad are also suffering due to extreme temperatures. And the ongoing heat wave in the Sahel has hit the highly vulnerable population the worst. Dehydration and heat stroke have almost become an epidemic. Some people are facing a higher risk of respiratory disease. This has also been aggravated due to power cuts, leaving most people without fans and air conditioners. Although the Sahel is accustomed to bouts of heat during this time of year, studies say that human-induced climate change has exacerbated the situation. According to the World Weather Attribution, the region would have been 1.4 degrees Celsius cooler if humans hadn't warmed the planet by burning fossil fuels.
Really, without human-induced global warming, these temperatures wouldn't have been possible. So in a pre-industrial climate, we wouldn't expect to see heat waves of this intensity at all.
Experts are warning of a great danger. They say heat waves like this could be 10 times more frequent and severe in the coming years. Human activities are causing irreversible damage and leading to drastic consequences for life on Earth. The alarm bells for a global emergency are already ringing. It's high time we hear it and act now.
From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, But above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on First Post America.